Hey, geometry students. My fault. I didn't explain this weird notation for the homework today. This is 15-3. These are some select answers problems some of you asked me about. We're doing 1, 3, 5, 7, all these because I didn't explain the weird notation, and then 11 and 17. So, problem number 1, this 9, 5 thing, I don't even know how to read that properly. A group of 9, 5. Do they tell you how to do it up in the directions? I don't know. But anyway, this is just combination notation. It means 9C5. This is the way I prefer to write it, but this is the way the calculator does it. There's other textbooks that write it this way: combination of 9 things taken 5 at a time. That's another way they write it, but it's definitely a combination. So we know the combination is a double permutation, so it'd be 9p5 divided by 5p5 if you wanted to write it out. Of course, you could just type 9c5 in your calculator and it'll give you the answer. If you do it this way, it's 2 permutations, and it'd be 15/120 divided by 120, which is 126. But from now on, I'm just going to use the combination key on the calculator. So problem number 3, which is 50/2, would be 50C2. And if I just take my calculator and type in 50 PRB, switch over to combination 2, 50C2 comes out to be 1225. Or you can do it as a double permutation if you want to do it the long way. Number 5, 12/8 would be 12C8. So that's going to be 12 permutation, switch over to combination 12C8, 495. Now this next one, you really have to understand it as it's going to be NC3, but you can't type that in your calculator, obviously, because it's a variable. So you're going to have to understand the permutation notation. So if I wrote it as permutation notation, it'd be NP3 over 3p3, right? Now, how do you do NP3? You don't know what n is. Well, you know the first number is going to be n, and the second number, because you're going down, that's how permutation works, is going to be n minus 1. And you're going to go 3 numbers deep because it's NP3. So the next one will be n minus 2. So those will be my first 3 numbers. Whatever n is, then the second one's going to be 1 less than that, and the third one will be 1 less than that. So, and then you'll divide by 3p3, which is just 3 factorial. So your final answer is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all over 6. Okay, now we jump to number 11. This problem talks about how many basketball games are played in a 9-team league if each team plays all the other teams twice. Now, I don't know what this problem's doing in here. This is not a permutation or a combination. I'm glad we don't use this textbook. It's a little frustrating. I like to do some of the problems, but this one doesn't even belong in here. So let me try to explain this as best I can. Let's say we had 9 guys, 9 teams. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're all playing each other once. So I'm going to start with this team. This team plays this guy, 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 this guy. So they're going to play 8 teams. You're not going to play yourself, so you just play 8 other teams. Now, the next guy, this guy, he doesn't have to play that team because he already played them. So he's just going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now it's sort of like a permutation in that fact that it's going down, but it's not multiplication. You're not multiplying the games, the number of games. That would be silly. You're adding up the number of games. So this is not going to be like 8 factorial. This is the sum of these 8 numbers. This actually adds up to 36, but remember you're playing each team twice, so that's why you got to double it to get 72, because you're playing each team twice. So it sort of looks like a permutation, but it's not at all, because in a permutation you multiply. And then finally 17 is the last one. 17 talks about you got 58 Democrats, 42 Republicans. How many committees consist of 6 Democrats and 4 Republicans? Well, this is definitely a combination type problem because you're making committees. The positions of, there's no president of the committee or anything like that, so it's not going to be a permutation. Order doesn't matter here. So let's see. The number of ways, there's 58 Democrats and there's 42 Republicans. I'm trying to draw 6 Democrats from those 58 Democrats. So that's 58 C6. I'm trying to draw 6 from 58. And the order doesn't matter, which is why it's a combination. And then I'm going to multiply by the number of ways to do the Republicans. There's 42 Republicans, and we're trying to pick 4 of them. So this is the combination notation. If you want to write it the way they write it with this weird parentheses thing, I guess it would be like this. But I prefer combination notation over that. All right, hope that helps. Talk to you soon.